Hi, guys. We are looking at problems very similar to the ones you're going to have on quiz 2, which is your next quiz due next Sunday. Quiz 2 is going to cover chapters 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there'll be 5 problems on quiz 2, one for each chapter. And the problems that I'm going to go over in these videos are very, very similar to the ones you're going to see on the quiz. So I'm going to do one short video per problem. So this is problem 1, and it's a problem from chapter 6 in your textbook, Consumer Choices. So in this problem, we have Praxilla, who derives utility or enjoys, gains a benefit from reading poems and eating cucumbers, a very interesting combination. And so I've got the narrative here of what the scenario is, but I won't bore you with reading through this. If you want to pause the video, you can. But what I've done and what I'll do for you on the quiz is I will put the narrative into a table so you can actually see it. The important piece of information in the narrative in the problem that you're not going to see on the table explicitly or at all is the total budget that the consumer, in this case Praxilla, has. So Praxilla has a total budget to spend on reading poems and eating cucumbers of $18. So the question we're answering here is, if she spends her total budget, which is constrained to $18, that's as much as she can spend. So she's going to want to spend it all on reading poems and eating cucumbers. How many poems should Praxilla read, and how many cucumbers should Praxilla consume in order to maximize her utility? So let me just scroll down here. So I've got a table here. So we'll start with a poem. So we've got the number of a poem, 0 through 6, the price of a poem right here, which is $3, and then the marginal utility, what she gains in utils, or you could say units of marginal utility, which with each additional poem that she reads. And you can see the first one gives her 30 utils. The second one gives her an additional marginal utility added of 27. So she gets a little bit less enjoyment with each additional poem that she reads. Now, this column right here is the total utility, which is basically adding up the marginals as you go. It's just summing as you go, okay? And then the column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth column over is very, very important. It's going to help us answer our question: marginal utility per dollar. So what we're doing here is let me just jump over to my spreadsheet, which is right here. This is what I actually used. What we're doing here is I've got a formula in here that divides the marginal utility, actually here, that divides the marginal utility by the price. Okay, so this column right here, I should say, sorry, here, so where am I? Here, man, I'm in the wrong spot. So yeah, so it's dividing the marginal here by the price. So you get the utility per dollar. So 30 over 3 is 10, 27 divided by 3 is 6, and so on. So that's the marginal utility per dollar, which is the ratio of the marginal utility to a price. Okay. Now, in the other part of the table over here, let me jump back to mine. Over here, we've got a table for cucumbers, which is, it goes up by 3. So she can either consume 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, or 18. And the price of one is $1. Oh, by the way, let me jump back over here. This purple column is the total cost if she consumes the number of poems or reads the number of poems here. So we see the total cost of reading 6 poems is $18, which is her budget. Just so, and that's going to be very important when you're figuring out what the answer is. Now, okay, so let's jump over here to cucumbers. We got 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. The price of one is $1. The marginal utility starts off at 6 when she consumes 3, and then goes down by 1 with each additional 3 cucumbers. And then we have our total utility over here, which is just summing up the marginals. And then we've got the marginal utility per dollar in this next to the last column here, which is easy since the price is 1. So it's just basically 6 over 1, 5 over 1, 4 over 1, 3 over 1, right? And then we have a total cost, which is the price of the number of cucumbers here times, it's the number, I should say, times the price, right? 3 times 1, 6 times 1, and 9 times 1. So this is the total cost of each a different number of cucumbers. Now, in order to find out where Praxilla is going to maximize her utility, we need to look at where the ratio of marginal utility to price is the same. And since I've already calculated marginal utility per dollar here and here, we just look at where they're the same. So let's see, 10, 9, 5, 8, 7. This is the highest one here is 6. And we have 6 right down here, okay? So at 5 poems and at 3 cucumbers, the marginal utility per dollar is the same at 6. Now we have to see if she's spending her budget. So the total cost of 3 cucumbers is $3, and the total cost of reading 5 poems is $15. 15 plus 3 is 18. So there is our answer. She's going to read 5 poems and consume 3 cucumbers. Now, if we look down below here, we can see that the marginal utility per dollar is also the same here and here, right? So why isn't this our answer? Well, because the price of reading 6 poems here is $18. So she's already spent all of her money just on the poems. So if she were trying to consume 6 poems for a marginal utility per dollar of 5, and 6 cucumbers, which has a marginal utility per dollar of 5, that's going to be 18 plus 6, which is over her budget, so she can't afford it. So that's why we know that the answer is not 6, and 6, it has to be 5, right here, 5 poems, and 3 cucumbers. Okay, so you're looking at the table for two things: what level of consumption for both of the goods. Where is the marginal utility per dollar equal? What combinations, and then which of those is the total cost of both of the combination of both, of both amounts. Where is the total cost equal to the budget constraint? And once you find that, once you've figured out where that is, then you'll have your answer. Okay, so that's problem number 1 in your quiz, and I think I've got the answer. No, I do not have the answers. I actually told you the answers. Well, here's the answer here, right? So I'll let you just if you want to pause the video and read over this, you can, if that's helpful. So you're going to have plenty of time on this quiz. You're going to have 2 hours, so make sure that you double check all of your answers. Don't rush it. Okay, be very careful and double check all your answers. Okay, stay tuned for problem 2.